Today we're going step by step how to update an old kitchen light into this island farmhouse chandelier. Let's go. Before we begin removing the light, we have to kill all electricity that's running down from the ceiling through the base of the chandelier. Flipping the light switch is not enough. There's still power running through, so you have to kill the breaker. The breaker box looks like this. It's usually found in a garage or a closet. Just open the door, locate the room that you're working in, corresponding with the number on the right side here. So in this example, it's number 23. Then flip the breaker switch. Now that we know that there's no power running through the light, we can remove it from the ceiling. Before you take it down, take a minute and admire the handiwork of the previous owner. Thanks, Daryl. Also, before removing, lift the light a few times to get a sense of the weight. Now, most lights are held on by bolts. In my instance, it's held on by this screw. I remove that and take off the base plate. With the base plate removed, I can see the mounting bracket. Notice there are 3 screws. The green screw connects to the ground wire and can be ignored for now. I want to remove instead the 2 silver screws that mount the bracket to the ceiling. Once they've been removed, I can gently pull down the mounting bracket to expose the wire. It's perfectly safe to touch this wire, as we tested before that there's no electricity running through. This light has 3 wires. Copper is ground, black is hot, and white is neutral. To separate the wires, just untwist the caps like this, then pull them apart. Now these are covered in electric tape. Just pull that off and do the same process. Untwist the cap, separate the wires. It's looking good. Let's get out the new light. The light we're using in this video is an industrial kitchen farmhouse light made by DeBory. Even though it may not be the same light as yours, nearly all light kits are the same. They have a base like this and supporting screws like these. Even if yours looks a little different, you shouldn't have any problems following along. I was really happy when I found this model. I think it looks great. The build quality is fantastic. You can click the link below this video to get the exact model. It looks like everything is there in the shipment, so let's put it together. In the instructions, you can see that we're going to put it together the exact same way as we took it down. The electric wire on the right is going to run through the chain, through the base into the ceiling. With that said, let's take off the base plate from the base cover. On this setup, these loops will connect to the chains, and the bolts will connect to the ceiling. This is the ground wire, and this is the base plate. On the holes on the end, we'll run the cable through. So let's separate the base plate from the base. Simply unscrew the nuts from the bolts and remove the plate. Notice all these holes throughout the base. They allow you to pivot or rotate the light whichever way it needs to face. So we're going to need the screws and the electric wire caps. It's the same idea as when we took it off. The screws are going to hold down the base plate through the holes here. Now we're going to pass the wire through the center of this base plate. Make sure when you put it on, you have it aligned to the general direction of which way you want the light to face. Feed the screw through this curved hole so you can still rotate the base. Now tighten it down, but not too tight, so you can rotate it in the direction that you want the light to face. Once it's set in the right direction, just tighten it down. Don't tighten it too hard that it bends the metal, but make sure it's firm enough that it won't move when pushed or touched. Next, we're going to want to connect these wires to the light. To do that, we're going to need to get out this cable and feed it through the base plate cover where the ground wire is located. Connect the chain to the loop on the base plate. I decided to do it here because it helps hold the wire in place when I'm hanging up the light. You don't necessarily have to do it right now. Now we want to put the wires together. To do that, align the colors so white is neutral, black is the hot, then simply twist them together. And try to match up the ends so there's not overhanging wire. Next, put on the electric cap and twist it with your fingers. It doesn't have to be too tight. Go to the next wire and just simply repeat the process. Interlace the wires, put on the cap. Do the same thing for the ground wire. There may be a grounding screw that you attach it to. Finally, you want to wrap electric tape around the caps. This prevents the neutral and hot wire from touching. Push the wires back into the ceiling, then cover them up with the base. Tighten it down, then put on the chains. Unscrew to leave an opening, slide the chain through and tighten it back up. And now you can see that it's starting to come together. To finish our project, we need to cut the excess chain and slide the slack wire back into the base plate. It's easier if you take off the cover, but I was able to push it through just fine. Next, get some wire cutters and cut off the excess chain. Just don't cut the wrong one. It's really looking great. The final step is to put in the light bulbs. Now these are the light bulbs that I got. They're called a vintage Edison light bulb. It's a 60 watt equivalent at 400 lumens. Notice they are LED, so they cost way less, and they say they can last for 13 years. You can also purchase these by clicking the link below. Let's finish putting them in. Go back and flip the breaker, and let's see if it works. Looks good. This project turned out great. Something as simple as changing out a light fixture can really make your home look so much better. Hopefully this video will help you have the confidence to do your own projects. If you know anyone that's looking to make improvements on their house, please share this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we're done.